Before we get started, I want to announce my new dream RPG I'm working on, Kira Legends. In this game, you get to experience an action-packed RPG as you slay monsters with mastered sword combat and unleash your inner dragon. You can transform a dragon, explore a beautiful world, fight enemies, unlock new weapons. The possibilities are endless. So make sure to watch this on Steam. A demo coming out this week probably, very soon, this week or next week. I'm not 100% sure when, but very soon. So make sure to wish this on Steam. It helps out so much. And even if you don't want to get the game, just wish this thing helps so much. You won't even have, it's free, doesn't cost anything, and it helps me out a ton. Alright, so last part we left off on Unreal Engine is, as you can see here, I just taught you guys how to move blocks around, very basic stuff. But the next thing I want to teach you in this section of the course is, for level design, is how to actually make landscapes. Because as you can see here, we got some basic blocks and stuff, but what if you want to make landscapes like mountains and stuff? It's actually very easy and very fun to do. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. I think you will enjoy this tutorial a lot, and it's very easy and fun, so let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is actually create a new level, and we're going to create one without lights because I want to teach you how to add lights. So do empty level, click create. Now, up here on the top, right here, if you look up, you can see select mode. If you click the drop down, go to landscape, and this is how we make a landscape. So you can move around, look at this. On the side here, on the details, on manage, go all the way down and just click this create button. You can use these number of components to set the size. If I want to shrink this, I can do like a 2x2 instead of an 8x8 for the size of the map. And then just click create, and you should have a map right here. Now, click this drop down and go back to select mode. So, the first light we need to add is a directional light. So if we go to place actors, we can look up directional light and just drag that in. As you can see, we got some basic light. Then you want to look up for skylight right here. Get the skylight, AR skylight, and sky atmosphere. That's what you want for the sky right here. And then you're going to want to get some fog. To get rid of this little black void right here, if you add exponential height fog, as you can see here. And then the higher you move it up, the more foggy it gets, and the more you move it down, the less foggy it gets. Just going to keep it in the middle. And let's test right here. If I click play, as you can see here, we got a basic little landscape area. But so far, this is pretty flat, so let's actually create some terrain and mountains and stuff. So that's very simple. What we want to do is click on select mode and go to landscape mode again. And I'll just teach you guys really quickly all the different things that help, all the different tools to help you sculpt. So click on the top, go to sculpt, and then click on sculpt. So the first tool is called sculpt, pretty simple. You can change the strength of it right here on the sliders. You can change the size of your brush, or you can click the bracket keys to change the size. As right here, as you can see, you can use the brackets, change the size. And then once you actually want to start creating terrain, you just left click, start clicking. You can start creating some interesting terrain pretty easily. It's very easy to add terrain. And let's say you hold shift and left click, that's going to do the opposite of your brush. So in this case, it's going to take away terrain, and that's how you create like little rivers and stuff if you want. And up next is smooth tool. You just can hold that and you can smooth any terrain, pretty simple. Next up is a flatten tool. So let's say you sculpt a lot of terrain right here, like so. If you go and flatten, you just left click on it and it's going to flatten out the terrain, and you can create some pretty cool landscapes or plateaus. Even do some inside of it a little bit like that. And then the hydro, don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure it's go to noise. You can mess around with that a little bit. But all I really want you to worry about right now is sculpt, smooth, flatten. Last one I'll teach you is ramp. So click this little ramp thing. If you click one side right here, that's going to be the beginning of the ramp. Okay? Sorry, let me redo that, make it a little bit easier for you to see. Let's say you click right here, and then you can left click wherever you want it to end, like right here. I can move that around if I want. I could set the ramp width as like here, and then just click enter, right on the viewport, click enter, and it should create a little ramp like that. Now we can test out this map. Just going back to select mode. Let's say I want to start over here. Go ahead and get a player start. So go to basic and just get a player start and drag it wherever you want, and then just put it up a little bit like so. So your challenge is to make just a really quick, make a little landscape that you can move around in and have fun, mess around. It's very easy, it's very fun to do, like so. Okay, so what if we want to texture our landscape? This is gonna be pretty easy. So just like we did before with selecting landscape, like this time you cannot drag the material on there. You have to actually select the landscape. Make sure you're in select mode, by the way, and then click on details on the side, and then scroll down until you find material, landscape material, and you can plug in your material like so, and switch a little bit. As you can see, we got a material right here. Okay, test this out. So this would work if you want to make like the moon or something, just one texture. But what if you want multiple textures like grass, rock, and dirt? It's a little bit more complicated to do that. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. So first, let's get the textures. So I need my grass. So I can look up grass texture. Oh wait, however, we don't need to do this because if we go to content, starter content, materials, we got a bunch of free materials including grass. And then I like to use rust for dirt and basalt for rock. Okay? So go to content, material, right click. Let's create a new material. Let's just call it landscape underscore mat for landscape material. Okay. Now, just like I showed you before, we need to put in our textures first. So you can hold T and left click for 3 texture nodes. And then just organize that like so. You can just move it around. Left click and drag to move it all around. Okay. So first, to set the textures, the first one will be grass. So look up grass right here. Don't use the normal, use the actual color texture like so. And we'll do the same for rock or basalt, whichever one you want to call it. And the same for dirt. For this one, it's called rust, but it looks like dirt, so I'm going to use that. Okay, now we got all our textures. There's this cool tool we can use. So instead of plugging one color into the base color, there's a tool that will combine all of it into the base color. It's called linear interpolate or lerp. So look up lerp and find linear interpolate right here. And this is gonna look pretty scary, but don't worry about it too much. The more you use it, the more it makes sense. But however, sorry, this is the wrong one. Alright, that's the wrong one. It's not linear interpolate. Landscape, my bad. Landscape layer blend, okay? Look up landscape layer blend, and this is going to blend all the 3 textures we want, and then we can just plug it into the base color and paint on the different textures that we want, okay? So we need to add 3 layers for each texture. So click the add button 3 times, click on each index and open it up, like so. So the first one, don't worry about all this other scary stuff, just call it grass. Second one, rock, and so on. Then you do dirt next. And basically these layers are going to be assigned with the texture, and then from there we can paint on the separate layers. So I can drag in the grass into grass, the rock into rock, and the dirt into dirt. And if I plug this into the base color, hit apply, save. Don't worry if it looks black, that's normal. Let's save. Now right here, what we need to do is plug in the landscape underscore mat. Now, as you can see, it's black. Don't worry, that's because it hasn't been painted any layers or assigned any layers yet. So what we need to do is go to landscape mode, click on paint, and then where it says grass, click the plus button, weight blended layer. This is basically adding the weight blended layer is how we're going to make it appear on screen. So just click save, put in any folder you want. Just put in the default one it has right here. And then wait a little bit. As you can see, we got grass. And then do the same thing for rock, weight blended layer. Save. Dirt. Add weight blended layer. Save. Now, As you can see, we got grass, but now if we want, we can click on rock. I can lower the brush a little bit, and I can start painting. It's gonna go gray for a little bit, but then it's gonna render the texture. And if you could see right here, we got some rock. So now we can paint multiple layers and create whatever type of terrain we want. It's pretty cool. So really quick, I'll just let you guys mess around. You can add some basic textures. You can add some dirt if you want, like so. I like to trap the strength all the way. I can create a little dirt path if I want. Looks very ugly, but as long as you get the point how it works, that's really all that matters. Mess around. But if you notice, this doesn't really look the best because multiple reasons. First of all, it's very shiny. So let's go to select mode, and there's a very easy way to to fix that. All we have to do is actually just adjust the roughness. So hold down 1 to get it constant. I'll make this fully rough, so I'm just going to set it to 1 for 100%. And then plug it into roughness, like so. And if I click apply, as you can see here, it's not shiny anymore, it looks more normal. But the next step we want to do is, I don't know if you know, but the textures look very flat. And there's a thing called a normal map, which will help us make the textures look more 3D and more realistic, and this will really make it pop. So if you open this up, we can we can copy all this and just Control D to duplicate it, drag it down. Now basically normal map is basically a texture, but it has a bunch of 3D information, and that's how you make it look more 3D and have bumps and crevices and all that stuff on a texture, which is pretty cool. So click on the grass. Right here we look up grass, but this time click the underscore normal one because we want the normal one right there. And then same thing for rock and dirt. So look up rock, and then we want to do the basalt one. Click the normal one. And then last thing, same for this. Rust. Click normal. Okay. Now we're going to do the exact same thing we did before with the layer blend, except this time it's going to go into the normal right here. So take this, Control D, copy it, and then we can just plug in the grass into the grass, plug in the dirt, the rock into the rock, and the dirt into the dirt. Now what we're going to do here is plug this into the normal map, and then just click apply and save. And as you can see here, there's a bit more 3D to the textures. It's a bit more realistic, and so far it's looking much better than it did earlier. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. I'll tell you guys how to make your own very basic landscapes in Unreal Engine. Now your challenge is to mess around and make whatever type of landscape you want and play around with it and paint whatever textures you want into there. And by the way, F11 is to go on full screen. Anyways, I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please like and subscribe. And please wish us Clear Legends and help me out. I'm trying to release this game and get as many wishes as possible, so it really helps out. And even if you just watch the video, I appreciate that as well. So I hope you guys learned a lot. I'm making a new tutorial soon, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make your very own landscapes in Unreal Engine with your very own textures. So let's get started.